and good afternoon. My name is Amanda and welcome to The Done Creative. For today's pick a card reading, we are going to be figuring out how other people see you or what other people think of you, and we'll just see what information comes up. So if you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to try to center your energy and focus in on piles number 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if more than one pile calls out to you, there may be messages in each pile for you. So once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamps, and I also try to pin them as the top comment. So without delaying this any further, let's give you a moment to meditate on the cards, and I will see you over at your reading. Alright, group number 1, let's go ahead and find out how other people see you or what they think of you. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump right up here to this card, and it says mural, be your own first priority, and it is the number 25, so 2 plus 5 equals 7, which is a very spiritual number, so I think people see you as this person who has this spiritual side and a very creative side as well, because this is the mural card, and it says be your first priority. So people think of you as somebody who really takes good care of themselves and the things that you own. So if you drive a car, they see your car as really well maintained and very clean and organized. And the same with yourself. You have, a very well kept appearance and you take very good care of yourself. Maybe you prioritize your self-care above hanging out with friends. So maybe sometimes they might get a little sad that you're gonna be like, well, I kind of plan to just do a nice self-care night and not go out and where they were wanting you to come hang out. So they see it though as a sign of respect or something to be respected about you. It's not something that really annoys them for the most part. They kind of almost wish that they could be more like that with themselves. So it's actually a really good thing that they know you're going to take care of yourself, you're going to take care of your belongings and your things, and also take care of the relationships that they have with you. So if this is a friend, they know that you're going to take the utmost care of the relationship and your role within it. So you're going to take responsibility if you say the wrong thing or if you mess up. And same with a significant other, or if this is a parent that is viewing you, what they think of you, how they see you. They just see you as someone who is very put together, but at the same time, very creative, very spiritual, and it's a really good feeling. So then we have the child wounded card. The light attribute says awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. So you yourself may have been wounded as a child, past traumas, maybe you lost someone at a very young age. There's just something in your past that has shaped who you have become, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing, but it's just kind of really molded you into the person that you are now. And people see you as really open to forgiving other people because of what you've been through and what's happened in your past. So you yourself may not really feel like you're really easy to forgive anyone, and you probably aren't easy or quick to forgive somebody. But people in general just see you as someone who, if they make a little mistake, you're not going to jump down their throat and just blow it out of proportion. You're going to see that, oh yeah, I can see how that happened. That was a miscommunication. So no harm, no foul. That's how people see you, as just someone who's going to really listen to the other side of the story, or listen to someone and then have that sense of forgiveness about you. And also, because this is a child card, maybe you're someone who works with children or really enjoys being around children, or you yourself may have a really childlike spirit. And I don't say that as being immature or anything like that, but I'm thinking more that sense of childlike wonder. Like she's got all her paints out, so I just see her just lost in this world of imagination. So people might actually see you as someone who is really up in your own imagination or in your own thoughts or in your own daydreams, which isn't a bad thing. People just see you almost as a dreamer, I'm seeing, which is a good thing because you need that kind of element to being a really creative person, which I think other people think that you are. So then with this Samaritan card, refine your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. So again, just stepping out and making sure that other people are taken care of And you know, that sense of forgiveness, especially when this person's of a younger age and they're still making mistakes, they're still learning. People see you as this person who is going to help them out, and again, going back to the forgiveness, someone who's going to step in and forgive. But in general, people just see you as someone who's a really good friend, someone who's not afraid to help someone in need, and just, you know, lend that helping hand. Or, you know, you might be someone who lends people money all the time, or just your time and energy, I think for the most part. And people really appreciate that about you, because that's not just a come and go kind of thing in today's society. It's a really rare thing to find someone who is so selfless and somebody who is going to give of themselves on such a grand scale that you do, or at least how other people see you as giving. So then we have the animals card, and we've got a little animal here, we've got a cat here, you know, cat and cat, so 2 cats, and then we've got an owl and a wolf and a dove. So people may see you as someone who is very attached to animals, or you maybe yourself have a lot of animals as pets, or you just have this communion with animals that other people don't have, or this rapport with animals, like kind of like the dog whisperer or something like that. Or maybe you are known as, you know, maybe you're known as a dog lover or a cat lover, and people just know that about you because you're just always talking about your dogs or your pets or how much you love a specific kind of animal. And going with that, you yourself may be vegan or vegetarian, or just really conscious of how animals are treated in this world and how the environment at large is treated. I just really see you as someone who wants to kind of stand up for the rights of animals and those who can't really speak for themselves, like a young child or even the earth itself. So then we have the miracles card. It says, expect the wondrous to emerge. So people see this sense of magic that you just carry along in your front pocket, that you just always have these beautiful things come together and happen for you. And that's not because you're not doing all this work behind the scenes that they don't see. They just see you as someone who just has all these miracles unfold in their life. And you yourself may be thinking, that's not me, that doesn't happen all the time. But it's just, people aren't really seeing the work that you're putting in a lot of times. So they just see like, wow, everything good always happens to this person, you know, you. And you're seeing it more from behind the scenes of all the years or weeks or months that you have put into a project, all the work you have put in. And then when you get that payoff, to other people outside that haven't seen you working so hard, they might be like, oh, they always get everything handed to them. How come I don't get that? Well, it's because you work hard and you do what you need to do to make the ish happen, is really what I'm seeing. But, you know, with this genie lamp, it almost makes people feel like if they can hang around you, maybe some of your luck is gonna rub off on them. But you know that's not how it works. You know you need to roll up those sleeves and get in there and get the job done, which that's maybe the missing element that some of these people are missing. So then we have the ant spirit, time to collaborate, which really goes hand in hand with that miracles card. What I was saying, just people want to be immersed in your energy. People want to work with you. You're someone fun-loving and lighthearted, and almost with that childlike sense of wonder, that people want to be inspired to live the way you do, or just be and act the way that you act. And they want to collaborate with you, whether that's at work or in a personal project, or I just see someone like wanting to write a book with you. Like if you're a writer and you have other writer friends, maybe these writer friends are wanting to do some sort of collab. Or if you're on YouTube and doing videos, maybe a lot of people are asking you to be doing collaborations with them because they love your energy and they want to bring that to their channel. And I don't see it like they just want to take from you. I don't see it like that. I see it as they feel they have something to give you as well. But because you are such an open-hearted person, people are just really attracted to that light, I feel. So then we have the align your life card, what is not aligned or needs to change. So people also see you as someone that isn't afraid to change up your look, or to leave a toxic work environment, or just anything that's not serving you. You're not going to sit in that energy and try to, you know, you might try to fix it at first with the Samaritan card. Like if it's a friend, you might want to help them out. But after a while, if you start seeing that a lot of people are taking advantage of you, you're gonna, you know, step back and really analyze how that makes you feel, because you are your own first priority. So I think even though you have this expansive energy, you still do know where your boundaries are and being able to take care of yourself. And when other people start encroaching on that, that's when you say, hey, something needs to change here. I can't be doing all these things. So people see you as someone who will be able to align your life, as it says here, to change what needs to be changed and to remove what's no longer serving you. So then we have the bearing fruit card, and it's number 12. 1 + 2 is 3. Very creative. Again, with the collaboration, working together with other people. But bearing fruit, like we were saying with this miracles card, people see you as someone who, if you set your mind to do something, or if you are working on something, it's gonna be completed, and it's not just gonna be finished like you slap it together and call it good. They know, these people that know you, they know you're gonna put the utmost care into it and, you know, be almost a perfectionist to make whatever it is that you're working on or doing in life be the best it can be, and actually create abundance in your life to where you are reaping those rewards for your hard labor with that miracles card, and bearing the fruit of, you know, your labor, so to speak. So people just all in all just see you as someone who's willing to work with other people, but yet you have your own sense of boundaries, and don't let other people encroach on that too easily. You can let things go that don't need to be in your life. You are great with animals and possibly children, and just ready to lend a helping hand wherever's needed. So I think that's all I'm seeing for you guys, but you will have to let me know below what you thought. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 2, let's go ahead and find out what other people think of you or how they see you. Okay, so don't get hung up on what these words say, because there's actually a really beautiful meaning to that, but we're going to get into that in just a moment. So we have the Lighthouse card, which I've been getting pretty frequently here in my readings using this Create Your Own Magic deck. I almost forgot the name of it for a second there. I've been getting this a lot, but it is a number 20. 2 + 0 is 2, so that's that partnership card. So people just want, you know, kind of like group number 1, people are really attracted to your light, that lighthouse energy. You're someone who radiates a lot of beautiful energy that people want to emulate. But this is also saying that people understand that a lot of times you sell yourself short. You're somebody kind of like the opposite of group number 1, where they take care of themselves first. You're kind of someone who doesn't feel you're worthy of a lot of stuff, so a lot of times you will put yourself last. So it's almost the opposite of the way that group number 1 was operating. But it says here on this little sign, it says, I'm always enough. And I think that's a sign for you to remind yourself of that, and other people want to remind you of that. And you might get a lot of compliments that are hard for you to take a lot of times. And people are like, you have the best hair, or you have the most gorgeous eyes, or whatever it is they say about you, and then you're just kind of like, oh yeah, thank you, but you're kind of like almost begrudgingly accepting the compliment because you maybe yourself don't feel that way, but people just wish you knew how beautiful you are, how amazing you are, and just how worthy you are of all the great things in life. So then we have this gossip card here, and it says the light attributes awakens considerations for the feelings of others and honoring trust. So people don't see you as that person who is going around gossiping. They're seeing you as someone who really takes to heart what you hear other people saying about you, about other people, just in general. And you're not going to be someone who is just throwing words around just to make conversation. You're really thoughtful about what you say and how you say it, because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. You don't want to make people feel they can't trust you, because you are someone worthy of being trusted. And then with this prostitute card here, and again, don't get hung up on the word, it says the light attribute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. So it's almost like they see you as someone who maybe needs to ride the line or find a better balance on just knowing your worth and what you are you know, negotiating that worth with. You know, as the example with prostitute, you know, they would sell their body for money, and it's like, how much is this body worth? Well, no amount of money is worth that. You know, if you really think about it, no amount of money is worth that. But, you know, a lot of times the prostitute would be desperate enough to need to pay her bills, need to feed her children, need to just get along and survive in this world, that she's gonna have to put a price on what she has to offer so that she can pay those bills. And I think it's much the same with you, and not in that same vein or same way at all. This is just kind of an analogy, but people just wish that you knew your worth a little more, to where if you are someone who owns a business and offers a service, that you would charge more. You would know that you're worth more than what you give yourself credit for. And that's really what's standing out to me as like the theme of your reading with these 3 cards combined, is just that they just wish that you would know your worth, because it's like they can see the worth that you have to offer and that you provide for even yourself and other people, but they just wish that you could see that. So then here with the Armadillo Spirit, set healthy boundaries. What were we talking about? Just making sure that you aren't selling yourself short, that you aren't giving too much of your energy, that other people are just taking and not giving. And people see you as someone who maybe they really were overreaching the boundaries that you didn't really set, and they kind of come to you like, oh my gosh, if I'm like asking you to do too much or asking you to take on too much, just let me know. Which I think might be hard for you guys, because with this number 3, that is that very creative energy. I feel like you guys just want to give of yourselves, and a lot of times it's not like you're giving people money, but like your creative energy. Maybe you're giving them ideas to improve their life, or advice, and they just almost feel like they should pay you because you're always helping them out. And they might come to you like, hey, I feel like maybe I'm just taking a little too much. It's never you that goes to them like, hey, can you pay me for that like counseling session I gave you last week? It's never gonna be like that. But they just wish that you would see your worth. That's just really what's standing out to me most. So then we have the Share Your Voice card. It says, come out of the cave, persecution and expression. So they see you as somebody who has just this amazing perception of the world and ways of expressing yourself in the world, but they just wish that you, again, come out of the cave, knew that worth that you have, because you are such that bright shining light with the lighthouse here. It's like you're showing everyone else the light, that you're so blinded by your own light you don't even see it. Like you have no light at all is really what I'm seeing. And people just wish that you would kind of come out of that cave and step out and realize how amazing you are. And your self-expression is something people really, really admire and think is beautiful and wish they were as creative as you. So then with this A Powerful Move card, number 15, 1 + 5 is 6. That's that very nurturing, unconditional, and motherly love number. And I'm not sure exactly what this card means. I've never got it. And I'm gonna go ahead and just read the key concepts of this card so that we have a better idea of what it means. So number 15. Okay, a powerful move. So key concepts: action, movement with purpose, effort, putting the motion into your intention, making choices from an empowered and thoughtful place, positive change. So absolutely, people see you as someone who just has this really beautiful view of the world, like we were saying, but maybe a lot of times you don't stand in that power of moving forward. So a lot of what you do in the world seems more behind the scenes or very quiet or covert, and not in a sneaky way. It's just that you're not gonna be this loud person on, you know, say social media or Facebook that's like announcing all your plans and all your dreams and goals. You're someone who might tell a couple of close family or friends, but you then will just go forth and take these actions and do these things instead of just sitting there talking about it all the time. You're someone who's going to actually make the move, put the effort, and make that thing happen, which people really admire, because there's a lot of people out there talking the talk, but not many walking the walk, which you are. So then this Valiant Courage card, it says take action with passion, and I think that pairs really well with this A Powerful Move card. you have this really deep sense of passion that you use to navigate the world, and it's more of a quiet and valiant courage. Like I said, you're not, you know, storming in there and announcing your arrival like Blanche Devereaux of the Golden Girls. And I think what reminded me of that, I just saw myself on the camera, and this almost reminds me of something like, if it had like a long skirt or a dress part, would remind me of something maybe Blanche Devereaux would have worn on the 80s sitcom The Golden Girls, which is a fun time if you've never seen it. So fun. But you know, you're not going to be that Blanche Devereaux. You're more of a Rose, but a quiet Rose, if you know the characters on that show. But way smarter than Rose, if that makes sense. So, but people do see you taking that action with that sense of passion. They see you working behind the scenes and very quietly and very humble. Humble's the word I've been kind of rattling around. I couldn't quite catch it, but now that I say that, I finally caught the foot of that word, humble. You're very humble, almost too humble at times, like we were saying with taking the compliment. But then here we have the psychic abilities card. So people see you obviously as someone who has spiritual gifts and awakened senses. And again, I think that's why a lot of people are really drawn to your light, is they can see that you can help them figure out their own day-to-day inner workings and problems, because you have such a heightened awareness. You're maybe an empath, someone who's very clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairsentient, all the clairs. I feel like you have many of them activated within you, and people may not know that on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level, people are really attracted to you because they know you can help them. And you might be this person who attracts a lot of broken people, both in friendships, maybe even relationships, because people think you can fix them, and maybe at times you think maybe you can fix them as well. But it's not about doing the fixing, because that would be you doing all the actions and doing all the work, and that's the other people's job. So you might attract people who need fixing, but it's not that your job is to fix them, but just to maybe be there to listen when they want to vent or talk to them. But again, making sure you're putting up boundaries so they're not like draining your energy like an energy vampire, taking all your energy by, you know, gossiping and venting to you. Just, you know, maybe offering up them some advice to help them, and then they themselves will be the ones taking steps to make their lives better. But obviously a lot of people see that you are someone from another world or another realm, someone who has this quiet sense of beauty and just very spiritually tapped in, is really what I'm seeing. And my ear starts ringing as I say that, and that doesn't happen often in the readings, so that's very interesting. So I'm thinking maybe that's telling me that clairaudience, that clear hearing, or that hearing of spirit is really activated within you guys. So I think that's all I'm seeing for you, but you will have to let me know below if the way other people see you matches up with how you see yourself. And you will have to just let me know all the things below. I always love to hear from you guys. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Done Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 3, let's go ahead and find out how other people see you or what they think of you. Alright, group number 3, so this looks really cool. So we're gonna go ahead and start right here with this confidence card, and it says it comes with time and practice, and it's number 23. 2 plus 3 is 5, which is that number of great change. So you feel like someone who's not afraid to change up your look, change your residence, change your job. People just see you as someone very adaptable to your environment, to other people, and just like someone who, like if you're hanging out with a friend and you're planning to do something, but then you realize, oh no, that business is closed for the day, that you guys can quickly come up, especially you can quickly come up with something even better and more fun to do together. And it always just feels like an exciting journey when people are around you. And I think, because it says here, it comes with time and practice. So this confidence is more of a quiet confidence that you exude. It's not real egotistical or vain or anything like that. It's just a very quiet and very, it just almost hums. It's very beautiful kind of confidence. But again, I think it's come with time and practice, like it says here, because you may have at one point been very insecure, or very shy, or just really hard to for you to accept compliments and stuff like that. So people have seen you maybe grow up is really what I'm seeing. People have seen you grow into who you are. And I just saw like the ugly duckling, and not that you were ever ugly, I don't feel it like that, but it's almost like you really had a glow up, so to speak, in your, not just in your appearance, but in the way you operate in the world. It's like you had a glow up and you really grew up and, you know, took that sense of power that comes from within and really started to own that about yourself so that people see that. It's really beautiful. So then with this mediator card, the light attributes say, gift of negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. So you are somebody that people see or they feel you are very open-minded. Even if they know that you have a particular belief about something, they're not gonna feel like they have to hold back their side of the belief, especially even if it's like the opposite end of what you hold as a belief. So say you have a friend who's an atheist, but you yourself are very spiritual. That atheist friend isn't afraid to come to you for advice about, you know, stuff about spirituality or atheism, and think that you're gonna judge them or already have your mind made up about what they're asking about. They just see you as someone who's very fair and balanced. And that usually is associated with the sign of Libra, but it's funny because Libras themselves have to work the very hardest to balance those scales, because it is in the first house. If they are a Libra ascendant, it would be in the first house. Or if it's a sun sign, that's where your sun and your power and your soul lies, is within Libra. So even though other people may think you are very balanced, it's the hardest work for you than someone else to balance yourself out and to balance all the different areas of life. So that Libra was just an example. So wherever Libra falls in your chart, that just may be where people are really attracted to you, because they feel this sense of you being able to mediate any kind of problem they have. And that is kind of like we were talking about in group number 2, where people just come to them for advice. So you might have strangers come up to you and like try to tell you their life story, or friends are always like telling you, like you could tell a friend, like a friend could tell you every area of their life, every detail, and you could know them very well. But at the same time, I think people just see you almost as a neutral person. Like you don't really open up to a lot of people. And it's not that you're trying to hide anything or whatever, but it's just that you have this quiet confidence that you just exude, to where you make people feel very comfortable and let their walls down and show their vulnerability. And not that you don't ever do that, because I do feel like you do, but for the most part, people almost at times feel like, am I talking too much? Do you have anything you want to talk about? Because people are just so welcomed and invited in by your energy that they don't always think to ask you what you have going on, because you just seem so, you know, just neutral and even happy about just being in their company. So then with this student card, it says light attributes, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. So yes, you guys are my students of life. You want to learn about the cosmos. You want to learn about earthworms. You guys just want to learn about everything. I just see your interests are very wide ranged. It's not like you just have a couple of things that you're interested in. It's like you could watch a nature show about gazelles in their natural habitat, and then in the next minute just really be off on like studying and wanting to learn everything you can about crystals. And I just see you just as someone who's always just like down another rabbit hole of really like fun knowledge and stuff that you want to know about, like the hidden secrets of the history of the world, or maybe even learning about your past lives or spirituality, stuff like that. Like you guys are just really wanting to learn everything you can about everything. And that's not to say that you learn this stuff to want to be a know-it-all. It's like the more you learn, the more you guys realize you don't even know the tip of an iceberg of a snowflake. Like you just, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. So it really humbles you, and that's a word that kept coming up, or I kept trying to figure out in group number 2. But it's a very humbling kind of knowledge, and our humbling kind of student energy that you put out is really what I'm seeing. So then we have this number 16, the royal you, and 1 plus 6 equals 7. Again, a very spiritual number. People see that spirituality just oozing from you. You are just, you know, with this royal you card, very regal, very, you just carry yourself in such a way that it's that quiet confidence like we were saying earlier. And it almost, you know, pairing that up with this courage card with the lion, it just reminds me almost of a lion just slowly walking, you know, the perimeter of their land that they live on, just very noble and just very regal. And you yourself may actually be a Leo, or wherever Leo falls in your chart, people may be really drawn to that house. So say for instance, if Leo rules your 10th house, that would be your house of career. So people see you as like the top dog or the lion or the authority of whatever it is you do for work. So people always want to go to you for, you know, to take the service or whatever it is you're offering for sale. People really are drawn to you there. Or if Leo is your ascendant, people are just drawn to you because of the way you look, the way you feel, the way your energy just exudes this beautiful, quiet confidence. And it's like you can be those things that Leo represents, but it's a more quiet, subdued way of that Leo expression. It's not that out there Blanche Devereaux in your face. And I can't remember if it was your group or the group before where I used that Blanche Devereaux. I think it was the group before, where this shirt reminds me in the viewfinder when I'm looking over here that I was like, you don't just barge in and be like, I'm here, I've arrived. It's not that kind of Leo energy where you're just automatically the center of attention because you're making yourself the center of attention. It's like you're the center of attention without even meaning to be, and people really like that about you because you don't have to try to one-up other people around you or to try to prove your point or brag about who you are and what you've done. Just by being you and exuding just this quiet confidence, it like sucks people into your aura and people just want to be around that. It's really beautiful. I don't even know if I'm explaining that right, but that's just how people see you, as just someone who attracts. Almost like a moth to a flame, but not so fatal. Not so fatal. It's more of a moth to a warm glow of one of those like LED candles. It's not going to hurt the moth, and the moth can still bask in the beautiful light of who you are, so to speak. So then we have the view from above card. It says, get the big picture. And pairing that with that mediator, just seeing both sides of the argument, you're someone who just, you know, like I was saying with that open mind and always looking for knowledge to expand your knowledge horizons. People just see you as someone who is not, you know, again, set in your ways. You're someone who's very open-minded, someone who's going to listen to all sides of the story and then make some sort of conclusion. And a lot of times you can even see multiple conclusions or multiple, you know, like maybe two opposite stances on a subject. The person can see exactly why this one has the stance they have and the same stance that this one has. I can't talk. I'm like rumbling and tumbling over my words, but I think you guys know what I'm saying. People just see you as someone who can see the good in everything. That's really what's point being stood out to me, is it's like you have that top-down view, almost like that omniscient view of what's going on, to where you can see the forest for the trees, you can see the bugs and the deer running through. It's like everything that's going on, you can see it, but it's from that higher up perspective to where you're not so in it and inundated that you're lost in the details of whatever it is. It's like it's almost like a detached kind of perspective, and detached isn't a bad thing. A lot of times people think when you're detached, you're apathetic and you don't care, which is actually the opposite. It's you care enough that you don't put your emotions in it and make it all about you. That's really what's standing out, is you put other people first and still stand really tall and quiet in your confidence. So then we have the koi spirit, the koi fish spirit. It says that there is always enough. So people see you as someone, no matter how down on your luck you have been in the past, or how much money you're using to scrape by at the very minimum that you can use to scrape by, you're always someone who does the best with what you have. And it almost, I think at times, makes people jealous. Like, you can take $20 to like a secondhand store or a yard sale and come out of there with some really cool finds. And then not only that, when you get home, it's like you can take like a blank bookcase. Like you cleaned off a bookcase and you took all these cool finds, like an old candle holder, maybe an old crystal, old picture frame that you put a piece of art that you made in, and then you like decorate this shelf up to look so like high end and awesome that people are just like, how did you take $20 and make it look like freaking royalty? Like, people just love the way that you operate in the world, and almost just at times maybe even get envious or jealous of how cool you can utilize the most mundane things to make everything look really good and like aesthetically pleasing is really what I'm seeing. So then with this Lemuria card, it says creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So people see you as an old soul, someone who, you know, again with that student, with that knowledge, you just know everything about everything, even though you yourself feel like, man, I barely know anything, and the more I learn, the more I know I don't know, and the more I want to learn. But people see you almost as this like book of knowledge, and just someone who, like, you know, I was saying with the bookshelf analogy, just creating something really beautiful with what you have around you, creating heaven on earth. So your home itself may be your sanctuary, and when other people come into your home or your room or whatever it is, they just feel right at home, really comfortable, like you have put your personal touch on everything, and they can just see. And, you know, again, I don't think it's like a jealousy or an envy, but like an admiration at times, like, wow, you really made this room look so beautiful. I wish I could do that. Like, inspirational and admirable is really what's standing out. So I think that's all I'm seeing for you, but you'll have to let me know if this sounds like the way you see yourself, because again, this is a reading how other people see you. And I always like to see if how others see you matches up with how you see you. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Done Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 4, let's go ahead and find out what other people think of you or how they see you. Okay, group number 4. So this is really cool. And the first thing that's really standing out to me is, especially in this like 4-card cross here, is all this kind of earthy colors and earthy vibe. So you yourself may be an earth sign or have prominent placements in Virgo, Capricorn, almost said Aquarius, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. And that could be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, really any planet in those signs within your birth chart. But people are just really attracted to you because you are so down to earth is really what I'm seeing. And with this gold card, it says you don't need someone else to fix you. So I think people may see you as someone who, even if they know your past, which I feel like you guys, you either had a really hard upbringing or, you know, even had maybe a troubled past yourself, or just past relationships, or a lot of relationships that kind of come and go, both friends and significant others. But people still see you as someone that you don't need someone else to fix you. It's like if you had a broken past or a really bad relationship fallout with someone, you didn't need to fill that void by going out and getting someone else. It's like you took care of yourself and you nurtured yourself and you made yourself whole again before going back out there and starting over or trying again. And people just see you as someone who is very strong and very, I won't say proud, but it's like you're just very confident almost in how you know you can take care of yourself better than anyone else can take care of you is really what's standing out. So then with this Father card, the light attribute says talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So you might be the friend in your group that's always the one having to kind of coordinate the get-togethers, or if you hadn't heard from your friends in a long time, you're probably going to be the one to reach out to everyone and say, hey, let's have a girls' night on Friday, or hey, let's get the guys together on Saturday to go do whatever. And they love that you kind of take on that leadership role within your friend group, or if this is in your family, maybe you're the one like, hey, we should all go do this, or we should play this board game, or have a fun family board game night or something, where you're the one kind of, I won't say calling the shots, because I feel like a lot of times people are really appreciative that you are taking on that role as let's do these things, and or hey, we should do something, any ideas, and that you're just facilitating the energy to actually make something happen, if that makes sense. So and it's not from that like dictator type of father energy. This is a very fun, loving father energy that people see about you. So even if you are a female, which I think most of the people watching my channel are female, people just see you as this role of protector of the friend group or of the family, or just the one who's gonna organize everything and get everyone together and get all the ducks in a row, so to speak. So then we have the Judge card. It says the light attributes: balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. So again, it's like you're not on some sort of power trip to be that like fatherly role within the friend group or in the family, but you're someone who's very balanced in your justice and compassion for other people. And if you see something going wrong, you will say something about it. If you see something going right, you will say something about it. You're someone who's gonna be that like judge, or just wanting to see justice served. So people might see you as someone who's some sort of social justice warrior, or someone who is speaking out for a cause on social media or in your day-to-day life. People just see you as someone who's going to stand up for those who don't have a voice to do it for themselves. Or where you see injustice, you're not just going to let it go by the wayside and be like, oh, that's someone else's problem. You're going to be like, well, I'm sure everyone else says it's someone else's problem, so it's my problem. So I'm going to help facilitate a change, or, you know, like we were saying with that father figure, facilitate that meetup or whatever it is. You guys are taking responsibility, where even sometimes you don't need to be taking the responsibility, but you still feel this obligation or this sense of duty to take responsibility for things that other people just won't or don't. So then with this Giraffe Spirit card, it says see the big picture. So people see you as someone who has those big picture ideas. You're not going to get muddled down in the details. And I think that was much like group number 3. There was a card that was like seeing the big picture as well. So you guys are someone who is going to see out multiple sides of the story, you know, with that Judge card. And it's funny because that other pile also had a Mediator card, which is a lot like the Judge card. So you may actually have picked both of those piles. I think it was pile 3 and then now pile 4. But just random side note. But seeing the big picture, you're someone, you know, that giraffe has that really long neck and they can see all the way out, way higher perspective than those around them. So people almost see you as someone who maybe has these even spiritual or psychic gifts where you can see the underlying energy that most people can't see. And you're really tapped in, especially we have this dream card over here, dreams. Maybe you're having precognitive dreams and people always go to you like, again, for advice and just saying, you know, hey, I had this weird dream with you in it. But I think people see you, you know, we can take this a couple ways. It's like you get information in your dreams to help other people and to help your life. But also people see you as someone who's going to go after your dreams and accomplish them. So they see you as someone who's very goal-oriented and someone who is going to accomplish things, very ambitious as well. And I just see like people see you as like this crusader for the earth, someone who wants to take care of what they already have rather than go out and get more. You just really want to take care of what you have and make it the best you can, whether that's relationships or actual physical items. You just even friendships. You don't need to have 50 best friends. You're someone who likes to cultivate a really small friend group where it's quality over quantity. And then with this Cleansing Waters card, it says purification activates vibrant life force. So people feel like you are someone who can just make them, like maybe they're having the worst day ever and then they meet up with you to go have coffee or hang out. And then by the end of that time hanging out with you, they leave just having this sigh of relief, like a breath of fresh air. Like, okay, I can do what I set out to do and I can make things happen in my life. And you purify what's not serving people. You're almost like that violet flame of transmutation, Saint Germain, his violet flame of transformation, or transmutation actually I should say. But you feel like you renew people, and it's not anything special that you do, it's just by being who you are that people come to you, you know, like I was saying, to hang out and meet up, and then when they leave, they just feel renewed and revived and fresh again. Everything is cleansing and just beautiful about the way that you make other people feel, which is like a major superpower if you ask me, because there are certain people that we can hang out with, and when we're done hanging out with them, we feel worse because it's like they took all our energy, or they vented to us so much that now we're like striking out on their vendettas and stuff like that. But you just renew people, revive people, and make them feel like they can keep going, or like they can start anew if that's what they're trying to do. So then with this yes card, it says just say yes. So people see you as someone, this kind of goes two ways for me, someone who always says yes to hanging out and doing things with this person, or you're someone who just, the answer is always yes for you, because you have such this beautiful cleansing energy about yourself that the things you want in life tend to get attracted to you and come into your awareness and into your environment. And people really admire that about you, that you say yes to the big things in life. Like you go after your dreams, like you're saying yes to the call to be something greater than just your average person. You have this sense of purpose and this sense of, you know, justice in the world. Like you want to make this world so much a better place that you will work so hard to accomplish that goal. And then with this great big love card, 2 + 6 is 8, that infinite number. I'm feeling like people see you as someone who, you know, that manifestation, that abundance that's associated with the number 8, and just the great big love. It's like the more you get for you, the more you're sharing that with those around you, your friends, your family, those people you love in your life. You're just that, you know, going back to what we were saying, that like motherly and nurturing kind of energy that people are just really attracted to you because, you know, that you purify them. It's almost like what I'm seeing is like a young child hurts and skins their knee, so they come running to their mother, and their mother holds them and she tells them it's going to be okay, and she kisses them and she cleans up the wound, and she puts the, you know, the Hello Kitty band-aid on the wound. And then the kid is, you know, when they skip off to go back to play outside, they feel so loved and so filled up. And that is how you make other people feel. And whether you know that, and I'm getting tingles first time in this reading, that's amazing. So you guys are my natural healers. You guys just have this universal love, this motherly love, this energy that people just want to consume themselves in. So you might have what I call like lost puppy dogs following you around, stray people that like seek you because they just love to immerse themselves in your energy. And a lot of times it can get overwhelming if you don't have those sense of boundaries, but I feel for the most part you guys do, because you don't feel like you need someone else to fix you. But I think a lot of times you're not purposely trying to fix other people, but just by being who you are, you're mending so many broken wounds within people just by lending that ear, or, you know, giving that hug, or just having that fun, lighthearted conversation with a good friend. You just help them feel better about themselves, and not as a way to like put a band-aid on a gunshot wound. It's not like you're trying to help people spiritually bypass, but it's like you help heal people. You help people understand that maybe there's more reasons why things are happening in life, rather than, oh, life's just happening to me, I'm a victim. You kind of help people see why things are happening in their life, kind of maybe like I'm doing now with this tarot reading or oracle card reading, where you maybe are offering them answers that they hadn't even thought of, and that could completely change someone's life. So you have that kind of power because you are so open-hearted and have this great big love for the earth, Mother Gaia, for animals, for people, for those you love, and you're not afraid to show your love to other people. And again, just very beautiful energy. I want to be your friend, so let's make that happen. Anyway, you guys were great. Thank you so much. I love your energy, and I really hope this resonated. You will have to let me know if this sounds like how you feel you are yourself, because a lot of times other people's perceptions of us can be a lot different than the way we perceive ourselves. So I always like to hear if this meshes up with the way that you think about yourself. and your energy. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye.